Hello everyone, I'm Chris Burbach, the Development Manager and Squad Lead for the Invasive Species Senior Design Team. Today I'd like to go over what we've accomplished over the last 2 semesters. Our sponsor this year was the UNL Department of Agronomy and Horticulture, and our primary contact was Dylan Fogarty. Stakeholders of this project were our sponsor Dylan, his advisor Dr. Dirac Twidwell, Nebraska Game and Parks, Natural Resource Conservation Service, Nebraska Environmental Trust, Sandhills Task Force, Nebraska Invasive Species Council, Nebraska Weed Control Association, the Nature Conservancy, Nebraska Forest Service, National Forest Service, and Working Lands for Wildlife. Members of our team were Alexis Saltzman, our product manager, Stephen Ralph, a developer, V. Doan, a developer, and me, our development manager and squad lead. The problem we were tasked with solving involved automating the process of visualizing survey data from Qualtrics in a clear and real-time manner. The system was planned to be used by conservation partners to navigate complex conservation planning decisions. The tool is intended to serve as a tool to provide a voice to local experts on environmental conservation decisions and empower those decision makers in taking action. Conceptually, it can be expanded to further areas of use for visualizing data, whether that is building placement or particular decisions that any community wants to make that can be visualized in a survey format. The previous solution was to manually download the response data as a CSV file directly from Qualtrics, the survey provider. Then that file was reformatted using a script written in the R programming language. Finally, that data would be manually charted in Microsoft Excel. It was a very slow and tedious solution and ripe for automation and real-time visualization of that data instead. Our solution is called EcoServe. It is a web application for real-time assessments of invasive species impacts and trade-offs. The website allows new users to create accounts and link them to their Qualtrics account. You can create a project based on a Qualtrics survey and customize how you want to visualize the data, including flower diagrams and bar charts. These visualizations are updated in real time as respondents complete the survey. The data, if wanted, can still be formatted in a human-readable file using the CSV format, and the visualizations themselves can be downloaded as images in a single zip. The site is currently live at ecoserve-app.com and is free to sign up and use with a valid Qualtrics account. We encourage you to check it out. Here are some screenshots of the site design. The left and middle are the home page that reflects functionality and features. The right is the About page that describes more specific information about our tool, in particular the different categories that can be used in terms of visualizing survey data, and some information about what it's particularly good for and what is sort of the reason for it existing. This is an example of what flower diagrams look like when visualizing survey data. The green is for positive values, and the red is for negative values. The EcoServe website is developed using Node.js as a web server backend, which is a JavaScript framework for creating web servers. We used Vue.js, which is a front-end JavaScript framework for designing the website itself. And for the visualizations, we used a JavaScript library known as D3.js, or Data-Driven Documents, and made creating our SVG visualizations very easy and very, very powerful in terms of the customizations that are possible to do, whether that is adding tooltips for service categories or changing the colors of certain bars within our visualizations, or just being very flexible in terms of the nuts and bolts of how these visualizations are created. We used Amazon Web Services for hosting, as well as a lot of the administrative tasks for the website, such as account creation and management of verification emails and handling the sort of authentication process that is involved with creating user accounts for our system. The hosting itself was done with Elastic Beanstalk, which is an Amazon service through AWS, and this allowed us to have a very scalable and easy to boot up and spin up more instances of this web server if need be, given the load. It was a great experience in terms of technology usage. As a team, we learned how to more effectively elicit requirements and design and implement the related solutions. Releases 5 and 6 were particularly reflective of these learned values, and our project started to look particularly polished during this. We also learned how to work better with an agile framework of software development, involving tagging releases, splitting work into user stories, making estimates, and following the agile sort of traditions and rituals of every sprint that we had. This helped greatly in determining how exactly, as a person, we work with this framework of development when we move into the industry itself. The tools and technologies we learned had also reached a more efficient workflow by the time of Release 5 and 6, and learning these tools themselves was a great experience throughout Releases 1 through 6, involving how to do certain things with AWS that we weren't aware of, how to make things properly effective with Vue.js and the front-end frameworks, as well as how to do things on the back end with Node.js and hosting on a production-ready environment. I'd like to thank Senior Design and its faculty, as well as a huge thank you to Dylan Fogarty for the project. It's been a joy to work on, and I appreciate my team as well as the opportunity. Thank you for listening.